welcome to the Palm Springs Wedding Experts Podcast. I'm your host, Erica Mendenhall, and today we have Lola Kent with Lola Kent Weddings and Events, and I'm super excited to have her here. She's been a good friend and an amazing wedding planner in our valley. We're super blessed to have you.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. So excited. And it's always so good to see you.
You too.
Thank you.
So today we want to talk about what you do and what you offer and all of that. But before we dive into that, I kind of maybe we could give the audience a background of just like us, like how long we've known each other and
how we got into
this.
Yes.
I was fortunate enough to meet Lola at a mixer about 12 years ago, something like that. And I just remember seeing you, honestly, and you just looked so radiant.
Aww,
I mean, kid you not. And I thought, I need to talk to her. Like, I was just like drawn to your personality because you're super bubbly and like happy all the time and just like personable as well. So you made it really easy to talk to some. Sometimes those things can be awkward.
Right, exactly.
And it was
but
not
I love
awkward.
talking to people. So.
And so do I.
We're so good at
I think it was like a good fit,
yes, absolutely.
So
from the get-go.
From the get-go. So it's been super cool to just watch you, just your whole business grow so well out here.
It's grown tremendously, and I'm so blessed and so excited. From when I first started out here, I just started doing kind of like day of stuff, and that really kind of took with all the brides that were doing the Pinterest and
the DIY mason jar.
Oh Lord, don't remind me.
Can we not bring it back? No, just kidding.
Exactly.
It was fine, but
it was fine.
It had its moments.
It had its niche for the time, and we just learned and grew from that point on. As far as we're not going to set up 350 candles for you. We're going to charge you extra labor for that.
It's a little much. Yeah,
it's just a little much. But that's how in this business is always evolving. You're always learning. You're learning new things, and every wedding is different. It's not the same, and so you just learn new tricks and trends, and you're like, okay, we're not doing that again. I'm sure you've said that a million times. Yes. But typically, all good and fun. I've been out here in the valley for almost 12 years, a little over 12 years now. I moved here from New York.
I remember that. Yes.
So I did a lot of events in New York. I was there for like 5 years and then moved here. I've always come to the desert as a kid.
Oh, cool.
Because my grandparents had a place here for over 35 years.
Wow.
So,
that's nice.
I moved here as a result of my grandmother went through breast cancer and she eventually passed on, and I just ended up staying.
Wow.
So here I am.
See, it's amazing.
And with you here today.
And here we are.
Yes.
Yay. I know. 12 years later.
I know.
Who would have guessed?
And now your children are grown.
Now my children are grown. Yes. Well, we had the opportunity once or a couple times maybe to kind of hang out with when the girls were tiny. And I'm talking like 6, 7, 8, something like that.
And my little niece and nephew.
We took them for ice cream, and that was like adorable.
Now they're all grown up.
Now they're taller than we are.
Yes.
And so it happens fast. Not fair. I told Lola, Jazz will be 18 soon, so I'm going to need some support.
Yes.
Because it's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe, you know what I mean? And time is going so quickly.
I feel that way too. Especially, obviously, the last few years were kind of like weird for everyone.
I know.
And then now I feel like we're really getting back into the swing of events and planning and weddings, and it's just good.
It feels good
to
be back.
Feel comfortable. Yeah.
Yes.
And just being here, I'm like, okay, we can like keep going now and
absolutely
talk to people such as yourself so that we can help so many people coming here for their destination wedding.
Yes.
The majority of our clients and probably your clients, I mean, does that resonate with you? Like most of them are from out of town.
Oh, 100%. Like usually, during our season year, I'll maybe get 1 or 2 locals, but everybody else is, New York, Washington, Dallas, Chicago, everywhere. And so, we are really kind of like the ground team of helping, these couples that are coming here to do their destination wedding, and they rely on people like us to kind of guide them and, you should try this place is great and this vendor's wonderful. So it works out really well to have people like yourself and
Oh, thank you. But yeah,
to guide people.
well, like having a good team that
Mm-hmm.
knows the area, the weather patterns, the just yeah, who you
Everything.
can count on,
Mm-hmm.
who work really well together, and who's probably a good fit for your client.
Yes.
So many different cultures and things, which I love. I will read it, what you have on your website regarding your approach. I
Mm-hmm.
just think is very well said because, and I know this is true because I've worked with you so often. You state, no detail is too small or big for us to handle. We embrace culture and personal connection. And you do because,
It's
like, when
super
I met
important.
you know, I was just like gravitated to your personality, to you. And that just, you just have that throughout your whole
Oh, thank
team of
you.
people, and I think you're very gifted in that.
Thank you.
So
Well, I can give I give the credit to the people that I work with, like yourself. Like for instance, a lot of couples come here, and when you're planning your wedding, what makes a great wedding besides doing planning and all the other stuff, but the vendors that selection of people, the team that's going to be handling your wedding
yeah,
that day is so crucial. And I tell that to every couple that I interview and talk with. And I said, guys,
right,
because some people, you know, they want to try and do stuff on their own and they
right,
want to, well, I heard about this great DJ. And I'm like, but I've never worked, if I'm planning your wedding, I've never worked with this person
yeah,
before. I don't know, how they're going to set up, if they're going to be on time. But when you work with
right,
quality, solid, good vendors that you
have
and I have worked together,
experience.
have experience, and they
Yeah,
know how you work. They know your timeline. They know
we just
everything.
click.
They
I
just
feel like we
click. They
click.
know, and
Yeah,
they get it. And because I'm doing 1,000 things, 10,000 things that day
right,
to try to make sure that everything runs smoothly, I don't need to be worrying about the DJ, the videographer, or anybody else that's
right.
working. Everyone has a role and a job to do that day, and it makes such a difference.
Well, and I feel like with a true professional, someone
Mm-hmm.
who's had years of experience, because we evolve and we learn, oh, don't do
Yes.
that, just do that. You, like you're saying, you don't have to be concerned that they know their job,
Yes.
because I've just found lately a lot of people claim to be XYZ, but they don't know their
Mm-mm.
job, and or they come unprepared.
Right.
And so that there's no time for unpreparedness.
No.
Like,
You
we
know,
need to stay on track, stay on course. This is not a practice run.
no.
Like, we need to nail it from the beginning as much as
Mm-hmm.
possible. And other things don't happen. Things happen, and we have
Exactly.
funny stories about that. But
Yes, we
um,
do.
but before we get to that fun
Yes.
part, yeah, so I like that you have a full service now.
Yes.
We go from day of, and you've evolved to this complete global full service. So, can you speak about that a little?
Definitely. So, over the years, I've been able to really develop a team of core people that I work with. And so it makes it very easy for the clients to, a lot of different planners will, they're just maybe them and one other person.
Right.
But, weddings are getting so different and big. And,
Yeah.
when we have for example, when we have big wedding parties, a lot of the new trend lately has been 13 bridesmaids, 13
Yes.
groomsmen.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
I
it's this
noticed that
younger
too.
generation that's doing this, and I have a lot of upcoming weddings that have these great amount of this wedding party that's
Right.
enormous, but I have to have like two people dedicated to. We have an
Being there.
emergency kit that we work with,
I love
so
it.
we want to make sure that somebody needs eyelash glue, they
We have
need
it. Uh-huh.
Q-tips, safety pin, a sewing
Scissors.
kit,
Yeah.
scissors, whatever you need. And
I have
we
a
even
mini version.
carry little mini shots because people get really nervous right before they walk down the aisle. But
Oh my
we have it
gosh.
all, and that
Yeah.
it just makes such a difference in the way that we care for people. People want to feel like they're taken care of. The same thing when you go to a
I
store.
love that.
So
That is
same rules
huge.
apply to that. So we've just adopted that and really just taken it
I
that
love
way.
that.
Thank
Because I
you.
do. If I go to the store, I want to be taken care of. It
Yeah,
sounds like,
absolutely.
but it's true.
People want to know your
When
name.
I'm standing there, this happened the other day, and I was at this luxury store, and she walked by, and I'm like, "Hello."
Am I invisible?
Right, you didn't see me, really.
Yeah.
But then you come back to help, and there was nothing going on. You didn't need to. Those little things where
make a big difference.
I grew up in customer service industry prior to becoming a full-fledged wedding photographer, and it was on point. As soon as you see them, you make eye contact, you are there to serve.
Yes.
And I think that's probably why I fell into, I like people. I love people. I want to help people. That's the only way to do that, but to do it with excellence, not like half, whatever.
Well, listen, like people spend a great, it's a big expense to, to get married, and people really invest in this particular important day. It's like one of their biggest days of their life. Yeah. And one of the greatest things, my favorite thing about a wedding is just this one moment that you finally get to have your whole family and all your friends together to celebrate.
Yeah.
And, it's a memory that you will have forever, that people carry on. And you want that day to be as smooth and amazing for people.
As relaxed as possible in the excitement.
Exactly. So whatever we can do to minimize, the nervousness, the stress and whatnot, that's what we're here for.
I feel like just having done weddings with you in the past and events and things, what I've noticed is that you're very good at that, minimizing the stress. Like the couples are not. Lola's got it. Like,
yep. You gotta think 10 steps ahead.
And I have to say, it's really nice because knowing like it's you, I'm like, okay, great. Because like I've mentioned before, like on other podcasts and things, we always do a wedding timeline as well. Yeah. Because we need to kind of plan the lighting and the sunset and whatever, but then we coordinate that with you. Yes. And it's a merge. It's like a beautiful thing. It's not a fight of like you have your own timeline and I have my own timeline. So we're going with mine versus yours. It's not like that. You have to work together if you really want to have. It's all about the couple. Yes. It's not about me and it's not about your business or who's better than who. There's no competition there.
No, not at all.
We're all here for the same reason.
We all have to communicate.
We all have to communicate.
And make sure, one of the biggest things I think is so important when you're working with the team, again, is communicating with your vendors. So if everybody, if we're going off of a timeline, everybody's sharing it. We're all on the same page. Yes. I don't have to call you and go,
what were you thinking?
What are you doing? Yeah. We're supposed to be here.
Yeah. Where are you at?
Yeah. Everyone's got a copy of it. It's on their phone. They know. Oh,
the what? Expectation.
Yes. Yeah. Everything is all pretty much dialed in. I try and put as much thought into it as so that this is the way it runs. It's smooth. It's easy. Right. We're on track. And just take out any stress issues. I try and think those.
Well, I feel like as a planner, you're able to, I forgot what I was going to say, but you're able to see ahead. Yes. What's the word?
Foresee.
Foresee. You're able to foresee.
You anticipate,
That's the word, anticipate. Yes. Yeah. Before any problem arises. Yes. So that's funny. But with that said,
that's okay.
We should have a funny story now.
We should. We got lots of them.
I know. So I was thinking about one of the weddings that we did together, and it had a funny, not necessarily funny, but it had a moment.
It had a
moment.
Unique moment.
A unique moment.
That would be, yes.
That someone with your experience level handled it so well. So well, because that was a first for a lot of people.
It was a first for everybody.
Yeah, myself included.
Yes.
And the whole day was amazing.
It was
we
super
went
smooth.
from this beautiful church in Palm Springs, and then we had slotted out some time for photos, and then I loved that we hopped on this bus.
Yeah.
I mean, the timing was just click, 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 and there's always pressure, but you had it. I mean, together we just laid it out perfectly. So we get on the bus and we go to the windmills, and those, honestly, today they're still my favorite photos because they were so happy.
Yes.
And I feel like that also comes from being relaxed.
Yes.
Like, We were handling it. You
Yeah.
were handling it. The team that you had was just on point.
Super
And
fun.
it was so easy.
And that's the way it should be.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When,
Yeah.
You know, I always tell my couple, your job that day is to marry this man, and I tell the groom, your job is to marry your bride.
Right.
And that's it. And we'll take care of the rest.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But talking about the funny incident that we
had. So we did the photo shoot in the desert, go back to the
cocktail hour,
and then we're getting ready for
dinner.
Right. Well, yeah. So all of that went really well, right? Did sunset photos, the whole thing. Everyone's excited, lovely. So now we're at bouquet toss.
Yes.
And so I always try to get higher, you know, and to photograph it flying this way. Like I'm in front of the bride. And we have other people shooting on the side, so we can get all the views. And so, yeah. Tell us.
I'll tell you the story.
Tell us what happened.
You and I are at the wedding. We're getting ready to do the bouquet toss.
Yeah.
The DJ yells, 1, 2, 3. She throws it. And, you know, there's a whole group of girls on the dance floor. One young lady in particular, she has a long dress on.
Yes.
And a couple of the ladies behind her accidentally stepped on her dress.
Yeah.
And she had very small spaghetti straps. And let's just say the whole dress dropped to the ground.
Yeah.
And there was nothing under it. And all you heard from the room was, yeah. And we just, so we just ran to her. We helped her get her dress back on, and she ran to the
and I'm watching this, and I'm like, oh no,
yeah, we can't take pictures of this.
Yeah, I either have to pivot where I'm standing right now, or we just
But it's one of those moments where you just go, well, that's never happened.
No, it had never happened.
But you know, we made sure she was, you know, very embarrassed and whatnot. But I mean,
you felt bad.
Yes,
you just felt bad.
But she was a good trooper. She went to the bathroom. We got her all taken care of. Got her dress sewn.
What's your emergency kit?
Yes,
See?
the emergency
this
kit
is why.
crucial.
Yeah.
And but we recovered nicely from that. But everybody was, you know, it was the talk of, did you see her dress drop to the ground?
There's always a story. It seems like
every wedding has a story.
Some kind of story.
Something always happens. Never fails. I have a.
Go
if
ahead.
you want to talk about
Go
stories,
ahead. Yeah, we want to talk about stories.
Okay. Well, last year, I don't know if you remember this day, but I'll give you the date. It was February 22nd.
Okay.
22. We're in, not Coachella, Indio.
Oh, yes.
At an estate.
Yes.
And we're getting everything set up. And I get an alert on my phone, Erica, saying that, Haboob and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Okay. So to start letting the team know what's going on, you know, this, that. And out of nowhere, it just came.
Yeah.
I have sand everywhere. Yeah. Everything's blowing away. Glass is flying.
I recall.
And my guest, I need to get these people to safety, okay? Because when I say everything is flying around,
it literally is flying. Yeah.
Heaters are dropping to the ground. Glasses are flying off a table. So we take 140 people into the estate.
Wow.
For cover.
Right.
Everything is just being thrashed everywhere. Along with, you know, the wind, we have this dust sand cloud.
We're goodbye blue
I'm
sky.
wearing sand in my hair, my mouth, my teeth, my ears.
Oh my goodness.
So it finally blew over, but it was one of those, you know, days where you're like, it's a event planner's worst nightmare.
Now,
weather.
That's the one. Yeah, I remember.
Yes.
Okay. And I was sad because you had just set everything up.
Everything was set up.
And I was just about to go photograph all that stuff. And it was beautiful. Didn't it have pampas grass? Like.
Not at this one.
Okay.
No.
But what was it like?
This particular wedding?
Yeah. Because that happened at the pampas grass one also.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, yes. I know which one you're talking about.
The hideaway? No. Hide. Hidden something.
Hidden.
With the tree in the front.
Yes. And the Buddha in the back.
Yes.
We had that. Remember that?
Oh
yes.
my gosh. So yeah.
But no, this was 10 times
on top
worse.
Of that. Oh shoot.
This is.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember the guests going in, but I remember them going in, but it wasn't that one.
No, yeah. That was a different event, but this particular event, when
Did they end up coming back out?
they did, so we got everything. We had to reset everything. Luckily,
wow.
I work with such a great caterer. They
Yeah.
always bring extra of everything.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, everything was
But see,
damaged.
and that is one thing I think maybe you could advise the guests, doing an estate versus doing something like a country club. Like, do you have a preference? Because I mean, we love it all.
Yes,
but
we love it all.
it does take more coordination
takes
if you're going to
much more
consider
coordination,
an estate.
planning, because you got to bring everything in. Versus when you go to a country club or a resort, they have everything.
Right.
And the only thing that you're going to be renting is stuff that they don't have, and that's
Unique
aesthetic wise that you want it to look a certain way that
Yeah.
you're going to be renting. But you have to think of, when you do an estate wedding, you're bringing everything in: silverware, glasses, tables, chairs, linens.
Yeah.
All the small. People don't think about the kitchen equipment either. So, I always tell my couples, you always want to find a caterer that owns their own equipment, because another added expense is going to be building your kitchen for your wedding.
Like literally building your kitchen. You
Refrigerators,
yeah.
stoves, fryers, all that
Wow.
stuff is so important. And, there are caterers that do own their own equipment and they bring it out on site. And that would be my number one tip for people that are looking to book a wedding at a venue that doesn't have, a kitchen, or
Right.
that they
Or
don't
large
provide
enough
food.
kitchen.
Right. Then, they have somebody that can take care of that stuff for them.
Right.
But otherwise, you're going to be renting all those things.
Everything.
Everything. Literally.
That is why you're so amazing, because full service literally means full service
Yes.
for stuff like that. So they don't have to worry about it. You have your list. You know what you need to bring in.
Yes.
But again, why I highly recommend a wedding planner, because if you think you're going to, I had this long conversation once with a really neat couple. They were going to do it at this very popular estate here in Palm Springs, but they thought they could just do it themselves. And,
No.
I kind of was like, yes, you can do whatever you think you can do,
But you're not
you
gonna
only
enjoy
know
your
what
day.
you know and what you read on Google, and that only goes so far.
Yes.
Because we anticipate
Yes.
the things that may go wrong: electrical, lighting, cords, just all the stuff.
Yes.
And without someone, this is what we do. This is what you do.
Exactly.
So
And who wants to be working
who wants to be working on your wedding day?
on your wedding day, or putting
Yeah.
someone from your family or friend
in that
to
position.
work in that position
In
to
that
work the
position.
day of your wedding?
I think when you really step back and think about that, the beauty of having a wedding planner and someone that actually offers a full service team,
Yes.
is that you don't put that pressure on yourself,
Yes.
your friends, or your family, and that way you can stay friends.
We want you to show up
And with your
for the
family.
wedding and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
That's your job for the day.
So is there another tip you would maybe recommend, or that you have conversations with your clients, or new trends that you see coming up for 2024? I mean, are you starting to also get bookings? There's
Yes.
multiple questions here, but for 2025 at all?
I haven't got anything for 2025. We've had inquiries. The inquiries are starting to come in for 2025, but lots of bookings for 2024. But I would say the trends that are, like I was telling you earlier,
is the
group. Large bridal parties, which is
amazing to me.
is
Yeah.
coming back. That
It's
used to be
coming
something back
early 2000s.
early.
Yeah.
And then people kind of did away with that, and they've minimized the bridal party, but now they are coming back.
Do you think maybe because we were all shut down and they miss their friends,
I
and
don't
now
know.
everyone is coming?
Everybody's coming.
and
I'm
it's
like,
good?
I have one wedding that's coming up, and she literally has 13 bridesmaids.
And so does he. On the opposite side, they're the same.
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm like, I haven't,
How fun.
It is super fun, but it's a
super
lot
fun,
of
but
people
that's a
to,
lot.
you got to manage
Manage the people.
and, they
Hair,
all need
makeup.
help. Hair, makeup,
Steam dresses.
steam dresses.
Steam those dresses.
And don't forget about the boys, because they always need help with
Yes, they
either their
do.
pocket squares or their bow ties.
Right.
And cufflinks.
And
Super
occasional
important.
suspenders.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
An occasional deodorant.
Oh my goodness. That emergency kit is getting used.
Let me tell you,
you.
that emergency kit, like, I always have to restock it. I mean, it's like, I call it CVS on wheels.
Oh my goodness.
And
That's
it just
cute.
comes in handy, and people are like, oh my God, thank you. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
things from like, what is it called? Liquid IV.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
that's a big one.
Wow.
Sometimes people just take it a little too far as far as drinking, and then,
The day before.
the day before.
Tell us about that. Do you recommend that or not?
No, I always tell so when we do the rehearsal, I always
Yes.
talk to the wedding party and the couple, and before we get started, I kind of just like, listen, you're in the desert.
That's the thing.
Much
It's
different than, if you're being in an LA or Orange County or any place else. You will get dehydrated so quick out here, and people don't realize that. So, they really go hard the first night of drinking and whatnot. And I always tell them, I said, listen,
Yeah.
you guys can just take it easy tonight. I said, you're with myself and my team until after the ceremony. After the ceremony, I don't care what you do. But beforehand, but we need to get through. I'm like, because we're here for our couple. We want to make the weekend as great, as amazing as possible.
Yes.
So I need everybody to stay on point, stay on the schedule, and just have a great time, but don't get too crazy. And if you need something, we have it.
That's
so
good.
we'll have liquid IV for people that
That's nice.
didn't quite drink enough water or need to recover.
It's really important.
Very.
I pretty much all of our clients, I tell them that, even non-wedding, just events in general.
Yes, absolutely. You just tell them you need to drink while you're here. You need to drink water.
Bring your water.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
hydrate.
plus it helps the
Yes,
skin.
the skin.
The skin. Wow.
Absolutely.
So going into season now.
Yes, we are getting
are
ready.
You so excited, ramping up.
We're ramping up right now, getting, finalizing. We're starting up, in September.
Yeah.
We've got a few weddings this month, and big ones too. So we're excited. We're excited. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun. Every season is different, as you know. I think people are more comfortable now.
Yes.
Doing the events and going a little bigger, as
inviting more people.
Inviting more people.
Not so many macro, mini weddings.
Yes.
Are you finding that kind of
The
dissipating?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We're getting back into the 150 up to 250s.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and people traveling from abroad.
Yes.
Like their friends or family coming into town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know that affected our couples a lot.
Yes.
Which was unfortunate.
Yes.
They'd postpone or then have to cancel altogether
Yes.
and redo, or they just got married, while we were all
Definitely.
waiting for life to kick back into gear. But
And it was hard during that time to kind of manage, what they could and couldn't do, and the rule.
no one knew.
Nobody
it was
knew.
changing day by day.
Yes.
So it was like we were all on this big long pause.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
But now
it's
everyone's
nice
like
to
really
see
excited.
It all coming back, and
Yes.
weddings really are exciting. I think that's why. I don't know.
It's just great to see, like I said, every wedding is different, and to kind of, start from the beginning.
Yeah.
And, a lot of couples, they have a vision of what they want it to look like, but it still continues to evolve. You know what? I kind of wanted this at first, but I don't think it's going to work. And, that's why we're here to help them and guide them as to, listen, I know you thought this was going to be a great idea, but it's not going to work with, the other things that you have going on. So,
Sure.
We're here to help you
Talk it
out and make it work for you.
Plan it out. And that's awesome. That's exactly why it's so important to have a wedding planner. I just cannot emphasize that enough because, especially almost 2 decades into doing this, you know what you do. It's just like habit. It's a routine. You know the flow, and that is really imperative for anyone planning a wedding.
Absolutely.
So, like, how far in advance do you recommend that they get in touch with a planner? So, like engagement just happened.
Yes.
Now what? What do you do?
So if you're getting engaged, depending on when they want to get married, they need to really figure out, the date that they want to get married. But I would start, as soon as possible. If you're getting married in a year, definitely get a planner. I always say a year out is probably the most
right
common,
time.
is the right time. I mean, I've had clients reach out and, we're getting married in 2 years and we want to,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
I feel like for me, 18 months is like the sweet spot. Like we're not too far in advance in case something changes, especially nowadays.
Yeah,
you never know.
absolutely.
Who would have thought? And then, yeah, I mean, anytime before, it's like a couple months would be like, well, what? Like,
I've had that.
That's happened before.
Many times, let me tell you.
I have like
minute.
double checked, like, oh, like this year?
Yeah, I mean, I've had literally like a month to 2 weeks that I've pulled a wedding.
Wow.
Off.
I believe you could do it.
Yes. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my
You are the lady for the job.
I'm like, oh my gosh, really? All right, well,
Yeah.
we got it done. But it adds a whole nother level of stress.
So year's the happy number,
Right.
Around there, at least. Because why? I mean, is that because of seasons out here or just availability of getting maybe what you want
exactly
for your wedding?
So the longer
supplies and like that kind of thing too.
I always, as we were talking about, like, when do you get a wedding planner? 18 months to a year in advance, because the first thing I always tell my couples to do is like, let's book our team. Once the team is booked, now we get into the details.
Right.
So super important, because if you want to get the right people that you want on your team, the team being so important, your DJ, your photographer, videographer, hair and makeup, florist, your rentals, you want to just get on the calendar. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
But, and then from there, so when you have somebody that wants to get married in 2 weeks or a month,
I'm like, okay,
I got to find out. And
so many details.
And who's available.
That's really the biggest thing.
Yes.
Is let me find one moment, please. Like we have a lot of phone calls to make because I'm not sure if
they have any type of idea of what they want, and I have to go
searching for
whatever. Do we want a hip hop violinist? Do we want a belly dancer? I mean, there's all different kinds.
Are we blowing fire or setting off fireworks today or whatever?
Definitely.
I feel like that's kind of a trend again. Fireworks. I think.
Yes.
I mean, we've done them since, but one of my first firework weddings was like back in 2007,
really?
8, 9, something like that, at the Polo Grounds.
Wow.
And it was like it was beautiful.
Wow.
But then it lasted a while. A couple years, and then you didn't see people doing fireworks anymore.
Yeah.
But it's kind of back. So.
And people are doing a lot of those colored smoke bombs.
Oh yes.
Going off like right after you get the ceremony. That's another thing that's happening.
Wow. So more out of states, probably, private estates.
Private estates, yes. Well, so depending on what resorts, will allow, you just really have to get permission.
That's fun.
Yes. But it looks really cool on camera.
It would. It's kind of like back in the day, we used to do holly powder photo shoots. And so we were throwing, blue and bright pink and like whatever, the bride and groom.
Oh, wow.
Or we would do it for like their engagement session or something.
Right.
So this is like very colorful. So similar to what the new version is, these color bomb things, which is just crazy. Okay, so another hot trend is
entertainment.
Yeah.
Big. These couples
what
really
are you seeing the most of?
Fire dancers, samba dancers, big bands.
Okay. Live music.
Solo entertainers in addition.
And is this like at the cocktail hour specifically, or just
during dinner?
Throughout the day?
Throughout the event.
Yes,
throughout the event.
Reception.
Yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
So that they're really into, they want their guests to be entertained. They don't want it to be boring.
Gone are the days of slideshows?
Yes.
Just kidding. There's just kind of a secret tip in there. Gone are the days of slideshows.
Yes.
Save it for the rehearsal.
Yes. Do your slideshow at the rehearsal, but not at your wedding. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it is nice and cute, but no.
That's gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
We like entertainment. Isn't that funny how the culture has just kind of shifted to being entertained so much, but in a unique way that represents the couple.
Yes.
So.
And that's what's great is, every couple's different. And, some people are like, we want to do like another trend that's fun is people love having like the little mini tequila. Tequila is such a great, addition or like, and people are really on this tequila kick right now because there's all these different
brands,
types and brands and whatnot. So a lot of them are doing kind of like, in their after party, they're having like a tequila display and like little mini straws and whatnot.
Oh my gosh.
So we're doing a lot of that.
Wow.
And then people like fun party stuff, like monogrammed sunglasses.
Oh my gosh.
They're doing, just all kinds of stuff.
So like also as a gift, like a keepsake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love
Definitely.
it.
So it's just, fun stuff. They want to keep it fun.
So I think also we see so much of that, and that's the benefit, again, of hiring professionals, is that we can give you ideas.
Yes.
Not that you can't Google yourself,
right.
whatever, but just having, kind of knowing what goes together.
Absolutely. Does it go with the venue, with your look,
right.
The people that are coming, and what time to do it at.
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm excited for like this year and the next year. I just feel like people are just ready to just enjoy life and
Absolutely.
Just get married and bring in their friends and family, and so
and they come from all over, so this is a great experience for them.
Palm Springs is so unique. Growing up here, like literally I grew up here. I always thought, well, you grow up anywhere you think you're gonna leave, and as I've aged. Gracefully.
You still look the same.
You love me, that's why.
No, I'm
so nice.
telling the truth.
Oh, thank you. But I appreciate where we live, except for the heat.
The summer.
But it's getting weird. It's getting really hot. 125, 132, whatever it was a couple times.
No, thank you.
Like I could do without that. But we just vacay, or stay inside. It's kind of like our winter.
Yes.
What can I say? Like it's like our winter. We hibernate in the air.
Absolutely.
But as far as like aesthetically pleasing, it's like happiness. So I see why people come here for that.
They come to relax, enjoy themselves. The great thing about the desert, it has a peace about it.
It does.
Ever since I was a kid, I've been coming
I love
here.
That. Yeah.
I always went to my grandma's house to rest and relax. And I slept so well every time I came here.
Yeah.
And so I think people do the same thing. They love coming to a place where it's easy, it's calming. Everything's pretty much kind of local, and you don't have to get on the freeway. There
travel,
there's local traffic that you can take and whatnot.
Starbucks is on every corner.
Yes. No. But and the desert is friendly. People are friendly here, and they like that. So it's important.
I love that too. I think that's just the community we live in.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're very blessed. And so I'm excited to have you here, and I'm super grateful.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Took time out of your busy schedule to come.
Anything for you. So, you know that.
I appreciate Lola so much. And so with that, we'll wrap it up and say thanks for being here.
Thank you.
The takeaways today, friends, are plan your wedding 12 to 18 months in advance.
Yes.
Definitely really, really consider hiring a wedding planner, such as Lola, who has experience. You're just so happy to be in like a pleasantness about you to be around. So I think,
and look to your planner to give you some guidance and tips to what works and what doesn't work. And
you're good at that.
Hiring a good team, very important.
So if you hire Lola, then she will bring in the right team that fits your venue, that fits your personality, the A team. Oh, insert A team. Yeah. I loved that show, by the way. But anyway,
they got it handled, didn't they? Always, every episode.
Hey, Mr. T, it's just
absolutely.
Yeah, that is so funny. Oh my gosh. So yeah, and then I want to say experiences, but in that way, entertainment and
big.
And personalized items, and just making your event fun,
Exactly.
a memorable experience for everyone who comes. So that is what Lola Weddings and Events does, and we're just so happy to have you here.
Thank you
and I look
for
forward to
having
seeing
me.
you again. We'll meet again and talk about other things upcoming.
Absolutely.
So thanks for being here. And before we go, please tell everyone how they can get a hold of you.
Oh, super easy. So my email address is just lola@lolakent.com. Very easy.
Nice.
And then on my website, it's www.lolakent.com.
Okay.
And then they can also call me. directly.
Okay, and we'll put all that information, friends, down below, just in case you missed any of it.
Definitely.
And again, thanks so much for being here, Lola. We love what you do. We love you being a part of this
working with you.
Palm Springs Wedding Experts community of professionals, and it's been awesome.
Thanks
so much.
All